Welcome to Classic Rock and Country Music Facts and Trivia. Appreciate you being here. Before we get started, I ask you to please subscribe. Thank you. Please share these out. Today's video, a little bit different, by request. Let me just give it to you this way. You wanted the best. You got the best. The hottest facts and trivia in the world about Kiss. The band's logo had to be altered in some countries. Kiss is known all over the world, almost as recognizable as Mickey Mouse or Batman. As such, of course, it's given that they would tour across the ocean as well. Their iconic symbol must not be used in countries where Nazi symbols are outlawed. This is because the S's in the logo were also present in Nazi material during World War II. Member Vinnie Vincent used to record music for television. In 1980, 2 years before he became a member, when he replaced Ace Frehley, also known as Ace the Spaceman Frehley, Vinnie moved to LA and used his talent to become a staff songwriter for television series Happy Days and Joni Loves Chachi, believe it or not. He wrote a lot of the show's songs by acoustic guitar while sitting at the Cunningham's famous kitchen table on the set of Happy Days. Gene Simmons' infamous tongue is urban legend. The legend, for those who don't already know it, was that Kiss's bassist Gene Simmons had a cow's tongue surgically stitched into his own tongue to lengthen it. If you think about it, if this was true, considering just how big cows are, he would have to have his mouth surgically enlarged in order for it to fit even a small piece of the bovine's liquor in there. How they got their name. Kiss fans always thought Kiss stood for Knights in Satan's Service. Actually, the fans didn't think that, but the critics did. But according to excerpts from Gene Simmons' autobiography, this was totally untrue. After some deliberation, Stanley asked something like, "What about Kiss?" Before becoming part of Kiss, Gene Klein and Stanley Eisen were part of a different band called Wicked Lester. When they formed Kiss, they also changed their names to Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley. Eddie Van Halen nearly replaced the original lead guitarist Ace Frehley. Disillusioned with Van Halen's new sound at the time, Ace left Kiss. Eddie approached Gene, telling him he wanted to leave the band. Gene eventually talked Eddie against it, claiming, and I quote, he cast too much of a shadow to be the guitar player in Kiss. Still, could you imagine if old King of 10 Fingers and 6 Strings were on stage in black and white makeup shredding as the member of Kiss? They owned their own arena football team. 3 years, from 2013 to 2016, when the team ended their program, Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons together owned the team along with their manager, Doc McGee. The team and its roster were liquidated during the off-season in October of 2016, the band pulling their support after the end of the season prior. Critics have always hated the band. Most critics, not understanding the antic performed by the band on stage and not particularly impressed by their musical ability, have never had really any love for Kiss at all. Their core fan base, the Kiss Army, however, thinks they're pretty much the best thing in the world. The argument can be made that fans are very much responsible for the band's lasting endurance over 3 decades. And one member of the band can barely hear, kind of like me with the noise going on in the background. Founding member Paul Stanley was born without any hearing in his right ear and had to wear an implant hearing aid most of his life. He was born with level 3 microtia, a deformity of the cartilage of the outer ear. Because of this, he is virtually deaf on his right side, as there is no access for any sound to enter. The Kiss Army started as a group of protesting fans. Anyone who knows Kiss knows their fans are affectionately referred to as the Kiss Army. This name first came about in the early 70s in Indiana when a local radio station refused to play songs from the band. A group of fans started protesting by marching outside of the radio station, referring to themselves as the Kiss Army. What the band members looked like was a secret for 10 years. Part of the reason their rock and roll music became famous is because of the look of the band, which kept all the members' faces obscured. Although they didn't officially appear without makeup in public until 1983 on MTV, they completed a photo shoot in '74 which revealed their faces, but the pictures were never published. Once they appeared without makeup for MTV in 1983, the band stopped wearing makeup for an entire decade as they toured with the album Unmasked. Fans loved the Actually, they toured with the album Lick It Up. Fans loved the makeup, however, bringing the band to eventually return to using it at every show. Okay, now a lot of you is going to say, well, why did he do it on Kiss? Several reasons. One, requested. Told you, if it's requested, I'm going to try to do it for you. Now, it could have been a little longer, but some of the facts I found, not just everybody knows that are fans. Two, a guy on the comment section was commenting on a Beatles thing that I put out about the Hard Day's Night, that one, and was telling me I should stick to country because I don't know nothing about rock. Well, what it is was he didn't like the Beatles. I know a lot about rock, and believe me. And number three, Kiss, my favorite rock and roll band. That's right, believe it or not. There's one piece of trivia I want to give you right here that I didn't give you in there. Gene Simmons, guy with the tongue, the bat makeup, the demon they call him. Because a lot of people said they're evil, they're drug, and Gene Simmons, in his 70s, never drank a drop, never did a drug. True story. And he's a legal immigrant into this country from, I believe it was Israel. His story is pretty cool. His mother was in concentration camps, and they survived. She survived that. See, I do know a little bit. That's all I have for you. Please subscribe here. I appreciate it. And if you do me a favor, yesterday's video was on Johnny Cash, and I'm telling you, man, there's a lot of things in there that'll make you crazy. I did not know that. That's the way you'll be, believe me. So go back and check that out if you haven't. And if you haven't checked it out, go in and check it out. Subscribe. That's all I have for you. Have a great day. God bless. And I'll be praying for you.